Hi guys! Happy Data Privacy Day. I'm Samuel Moser and welcome to Moser Meadows Records. As you can see, I still have a lot of my Christmas decorations out. But I have a rule that as long as I keep them up, I can keep listening to Christmas music. And eating candy. Don't judge me for that though, because I learned that in olden days, people used to start celebrating Christmas on Christmas Day, and they kept their decorations up until February 2nd. I learned about that while I was studying the 12 Days of Christmas. But that's not the song we're talking about today. Today we're going to talk about my song, Backwards. So I wrote this song at the start of 2020, before COVID really hit. I'd just started taking voice lessons, and I was improving my ability to sing and confidence in my own voice. And I was even thinking about singing publicly in front of audiences. And that was difficult for me to agree with myself on because I have stage fright. I had to start somewhere, and I did. I actually had many plans at the start of that year, including skiing for my first time and a mission trip. There were many new and exciting things I was getting ready to do that year, and I was very nervous and excited about them. It's really hard sometimes to find the balance between being nervous and just being excited. And it was really good for me to learn close to the start of the year that you can take that anxiety and turn it into excitement if you think about it the right way. But I was at a point where I was so anxious, my stomach hurt for days and I had trouble sleeping at night. It happens to all of us. Then, one of those days, after what seemed like a year of no musical inspiration, I sat down and wrote 3 different poems. I had many ideas for what I could do with these poems, but especially this one I saw myself able to tackle in the next few days. I had an event calendar on my wall that would tell me the significance of many different days and would tell me like what national day it is. And I saw that a day coming up very soon was Backwards Day. I thought, okay, if I can really quickly finish writing this song, sing it, make the music, and quickly animate it, maybe I can have it ready in the next few days. Yeah, I couldn't do it that quickly, but with that kind of motivation, I was able to get it done pretty quickly. So, the chorus was the root of this song, as it is with many of my songs, where I'd say something frequently enough as I went about my day-to-day life, till I finally told myself, hey, this should be a song. The thing that I was saying frequently, anytime I was feeling anxious or burdened was, I'm tired, so tired. One of my favorite wisdom passages is Proverbs 30, verse 1. A wise man says, I am weary, O God, weary and worn out. And what a primal emotion it was. If I could get the whole world to hear this song, they would probably sing along from their heart, because everybody has experienced some great amount of fatigue and anxiety. The rest of the chorus wasn't too hard to come up with from there. I had, I'm tired, so tired. I thought, what should I say next? I'm worn out, so worn out. I'm thinking that it's time to go, having to do kind of with this feeling of, if only I could escape this, then I would be fine. For me, sometimes that's, I just want to sleep through this day, have this day be over, and get to the next day. And sometimes when I'm getting ready to do something that I'm anxious about, I'm like, well, maybe if I can get out of it. So that's just sort of this exit idea. But what's an interesting contrast with anxiety is while you feel tired, you can also feel very worked up, energetic at the same time, which makes it very hard to sleep. Some of my siblings laugh at a time when I was little that I was supposed to be taking a nap or I was sick or something, and they said, you need to keep sleeping. And I said, I'm tired of sleeping. It still makes sense to me today. Like, I hate sleeping in. I like to go to bed early and get up early, but sometimes I'm just not able to. And so when I sleep in, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired of this. But in a sleepless night, I can be thinking, I really want to get some sleep, but I can't. When will this night be over so I can get up in the morning and stop trying to sleep? And that's where we get the line, I'm so tired that my eyes can't shut. I'm so tired that my eyes won't shut. Being wired is kind of this thing about being wound up and just ready to explode. And a spring is the kind of wire that really does this. So I came up with this compound term, spring wired. Any second, I could lose control. So there are different things we try to do to distract ourselves, and I think we've noticed this more this year than ever. that we try different things. Like, I enjoy music. Sometimes I like to have headphones on throughout the day and just keep listening to music. Especially if it's really quiet for a long time. I want to hear voices, I want to hear sounds, and I want to be inspired. I love dancing. Dancing is one of my favorite things to do. I love dancing with animals. That's something else that I'll sometimes do when I'm not feeling good, though. I'll try to think that I'm feeling good by doing something that I've done while I was feeling good in the past. Also, sometimes we eat when we're not hungry. I love fast food. I love cheeseburgers and french fries, and I love drinks. I love milk, and I love soft drinks. Reading and other kinds of entertainment are some of the main ways that we pass the time. Adventure stories get our attention when we feel like really nothing is going on in our own life. We want to see it going on in someone else's life. And love stories really strike us as the most interesting when we are lonely. But that line, give it up to song, dance, food and drink, and books and romance, is kind of a negative thing, because that tells you that you're only doing these things because you're avoiding something else. I tried when I was anxious or upset or sad or just plain bored to write songs that were the opposite of that, to write songs that were happy and peppy, and I have written songs like that, but they only came out when I was already feeling that way. The reason that this song feels so dark is because I was anxious when I wrote it, and that actually makes me feel better when I am feeling anxious, because it helps me get through that feeling and into the feeling that I want to be feeling. Instead of just trying to cut my way to the good feeling, you have to get through the night before you see the sunrise. So what's this whole thing about opposites? There were 2 days that I wrote this song close to. There was opposite day, which I think it was opposite day when I started writing the song, and I saw that backwards day was coming up, and I thought, it'd be nice to write a song about opposites, and that helps me write a sort of interesting song with comparisons that are actually opposites. And I did that again to emphasize I'm trying to feel one way, but I really feel another way. Or I'm acting one way, but I'm really not that way. In a sense, even though the song feels kind of depressing, I wanted the first verse to be sort of sarcastic. He's saying how relaxed he is and how he doesn't like that. And then he's saying, I'm so backwards, meaning I get things so wrong that I'm looking forwards. That's the idea of turning all the way around. But that's also just sarcastic. Like, he's just saying, I'm all the way backwards. Emphasis. Sometimes the most powerful sentences we have can be summed up in just a few words. And that's why he says, a feeling so big it could be summed in 4 words. And those 4 words are, I'm tired, so tired. I'm tired is a little bit more like 3 words.
Because it's I am tired.
But forget about that. The second verse is a little bit darker. We're really going deeper into how confusing things sometimes become. Sometimes things are so good, we think that if somebody else finds out who we really are, they won't accept us anymore. And sometimes the bad side of that is, they won't leave you, but you can get so convinced that they're going to leave you that you eventually leave them. So it's important not to think that way too much. You might also have a bad idea that you're being so successful, but you're destined to fail. If everything is perfect and I can keep going in this perfect way, eventually I'm somehow going to mess up because I'm not perfect. In poetry, from the oldest writings to today's writings, when people are describing just really having their perspective on things changed, they say, the light for me has become darkness. And a lot of times that has to do with broken relationships. Just like the light of my eyes has become darkness for me. I wish it was never there. Give me a reason why the light's so dark. How can what is supposed to be light be dark? And this is also when we hit a turning point in our life, and many people run into that too, where they feel like everything they've believed up to now was wrong. They've been deceived, that someone's been lying to them, and they feel like everything that was bad is actually good, and everything they thought was good, they're being told is bad. It's not a fun place to be, and I hope that if you feel like you're there right now, you'll soon be out of it. Then I just have a bunch of fun contrasts here, like give me bait, the thing that's supposed to attract something, and make it bitter. Yeah, it's not actually that good. Make a wolf my babysitter. Like, the babysitter is somebody you want to be very safe to take care of your children, and a wolf is the epitome of something not safe. A dove is a sign of peace. If anybody sees a shark, they know that that's a threat. So there's this whole feeling of betrayal. Betrayal of the people that were close to you, and betrayal of what you think. And these things just get so maximized. They can become so much bigger and overwhelming when you're tired. The betrayal starts to seem like it's coming from you at that point. If everything you thought was good is bad, then maybe everything you thought was good about yourself is bad as well. There have been times that I felt this way, and I understand other people that feel this way as well. Further into that person who doesn't believe in himself, we get the line, "I'm a contradiction, a thing of fiction, a man with a self-defeating law addiction." And that comes out of this whole idea of you find the one person who can help you. If somebody who had all the answers would come and tell us the right way to go, would we go that way? And the idea here is that we wouldn't. And so we say, bring to my attention the words you're going to mention. That's asking that person who knows the right thing to do to make the world better, to solve the problems we have. Saying we'd pay anything, we'd give you all we've got to have you speak at our convention. We have questions, we have things we want to get done, and if we get those answers, we're pretty sure we won't listen to them.
Inquires that we want answered fast, priorities to have fixed at last. We'd have it all and throw it in the trash.
There's those light-up sunglasses again. I explained about them in my commentary on socks and sneakers.
Everything is falling apart. It's the dark night of the soul. You really feel out of control. This is where you're having a conversation with yourself and accusing yourself of things. You're saying, I'm a contradiction. I keep getting things backwards. I'm a thing of fiction. I can't even trust myself. I don't believe myself. I'm a man with a self-defeating law addiction. I keep going for things that I know won't work. I keep taking routes that I know won't do me any good. I keep doing things that have never ultimately led to a solution. That's what this main character is dealing with right now. The big thing is, he's tired. He needs sleep. Sometimes when we need sleep, that's how it feels. And he gets sleep. That is the happy ending here. He wakes up and he realizes, I guess it's not so bad. And then he sees the sunrise. He's like, a new day, new opportunities. Maybe this time we can get it right. This song doesn't try to give you a solution. I just want to present here some of the problems that we typically face. A big one being that I was feeling it. And if you're feeling it, I hope this song helps you feel better. Alright, now quick I want to talk about the music. Usually I write the music first and I make it have a very strong melody, lots of instruments, lots of stuff building it up. But again, I didn't have much time to work on this song. I really worked on it in a rush. And since I'd just been taking voice lessons, this was sort of an experiment for me. And I had a new microphone that I'd just gotten for Christmas. So I decided that I was going to test my voice and make that the main instrument of this song. It was a bit of a risk I was taking, but I was pretty happy with how it turned out. There's basically just like 2 or 3 instruments I actually use in it, and the rest is just my voice. So the instruments I used were like drums, I put a beat in there. Again, like with the Gratitude Platitude, I listened to different raps that I actually enjoyed. And I also wanted to use a lot of bass so that you really feel it coming from deep within you. It doesn't bring out the happiest emotions in us. It brought out the emotions I was feeling at the time that I wrote the song. And I was glad that it did. I love singing this song when I'm feeling down and I'm like, okay, I've sung the song, and I usually feel a bit better afterwards. Noises are sometimes the most overwhelming things for me. When I was taking a bus to get around, I really hated it when loud cars would drive by and honk at me, or when I would pass under a bridge and there would be traffic going over me. Sometimes when I go to a big crowded event and there's loud music going over the speakers, I feel really something overwhelming, and I kind of just want it to stop. But remembering that the same emotion of anxiety can also be excitement, I decided to be happy about this song and to go ahead and make the music a little more loud, a little bit more intimidating, because I felt like that captured the emotion more, and it would be easier to steer it in the direction of recovery if I was really honest and made the music sound like what the words sound like. So I got that done in just a few days, and I started animating it. I was trying to decide who to make my main character, and when I looked at my calendar, I saw that February 6th would be Lame Duck Day, and that was going to be the day I would want to release another song. So I went ahead and announced that a music video was coming out on Lame Duck Day, and I showed that the main character would be a blue duck wearing my hat, and I really had to get going with the animation. I worked from morning to late evening for about 9 days, and one of those days I spent the entire time in car shops waiting for my car to get fixed, and with nothing to do but read. So I really started questioning whether I set a good goal for myself. I managed to get it all done, from writing the lyrics to making the music to animating it was all done in 9 days. And at that point, wow, there's a huge difference between this and Don't Break a Goat's Heart, which took me several years to make. So I saw that I've been making some progress in my ability to make videos. Now, of course, this involved me staying up really late at night and working through the day and being worn out and tired. So it's not a good idea for me to do projects that quickly, but seeing that I was able to, I saw it was a good idea to actually start my YouTube channel, start releasing my songs, and keep making new ones. This was the last of the music videos I made up through 2020. We'll see what lies in the year ahead. Well, that's all for today. I hope you had fun learning about my song. If you'd like to keep seeing more stuff by me, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. Share the song backwards with all of your friends, and I will see you next time.